Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the laws of accidental error. As we have discussed in the previous lecture, so this triangulation topic deals with the accidental error. So let us discuss the laws of accidental errors. So after going through the careful study and the investigation of the observations of various types, it shows that the accidental error follows some definite law, and that law is the law of chance, what we call as law of probability. This law of probability defines the occurrence of errors and can be expressed in the form of equation which can be used to compute the probable value or the probable precision of a quantity. Some of the important features of the accidental errors which usually occur are: first, small error tend to be more frequent than the larger ones, that is, they are the most probable. That means the possibility of occurrence of small errors in observations is more compared to the larger one. Second important feature of accidental error is positive and negative error of the same size happen with the equal frequency. That means they are equally probable, means chances of occurrence of positive error and chances of occurring of negative error are equal, they are equally probable. And third important feature is the large errors occurs infrequently and are impossible. That means possibility of occurrence of large error is less compared to the smaller one. So same feature can be studied using this graph, what is called as probability curve. The theory of probability describes these features by stating that the relative frequency of errors of different extent can be represented by a curve, what is called as probability curve. So this curve, called the curve of error or the probability curve, it forms the basis to get some mathematical derivation of theory of errors. So as we have discussed first, so possibility of occurrence of small error is more. So here this is the x axis showing the size of the error, this y axis showing the frequency of occurrence or what you call as a number of errors. If you look at this bell-shaped graph, you will find that so chances of occurrence of small error is more. It may be positive or it may be negative, that is frequency of occurrence of small error is more compared to the larger one. Then second thing, then the positive error and the negative error of same size happens with the equal frequency. If you take the example of plus 0.4 or the minus 0.4, their frequency is same. So from this graph you can say the frequency of occurrence of the plus 0.4 and minus 0.4 say about 5%. And the third, large error occurs infrequently and are impossible. If you look at this large error here, so negative is minus 0.6 and this is plus 0.6. So this shape of the curve is approaches to 0 here. That means in any kind of the observation, the possibility of occurrence of the larger error is less compared to the smaller one. So these are the three important features of the accidental errors, so which can be represented graphically using the probability curve or the error of curve, or which can be stated. The small errors tend to be more frequent. Positive and negative errors are same size. Large errors occurs infrequently and are impossible. So, it is very difficult to derive the equations for the probable error, but the equation for the probable error of the single measurement can be given, that is ES is equals to plus or minus 0.6745 square root of summation of V square upon n minus 1. So, here ES is the probable error in the single observation, V is the residual error, n is the number of observations. So, if you know the most probable value of a quantity, then you can find out the residual error, and n is the number of observations. So, this is the simple formula to get the probable error of a single observation. Then probable error of an average or mean is given by the formula EM is equal to ES upon root n, where ES is the probable error of single observation and n is the number of observations. So, we will see the two cases. So, we will see how the probable error is determined. In case 1, the direct observations of equal weight on a single unknown quantity. Single unknown quantity means the single angle is measured the number of times, and for all the observations the weight is same, that means all the observations are equally reliable. So, when all the observations are of same weight or the unit weight or the equal weight, the most probable value of a quantity is equal to the arithmetic mean if the observations are of equal weight. So, if you have the 5 observations, simply take the mean of the 5 observation. The mean of the 5 observation will represent the most probable value of a quantity. So, we will take a simple example. Say these are the readings taken for the measurement of a baseline. Same line is measured the number of times, that is 6 number of times, and for all the observations the weight is same, they are equally reliable. It means they are observed under the same condition with the equal care. So, following are the 6 equally reliable and direct measurements of a baseline: 702.0, 701.4, 701.8, 701.6, 701.5 and 701.9 meter. Calculate the most probable value and the probable error. So, how to proceed while dealing with such cases? See here, you can represent this in tabular form. First mention in the first column shows the observed value, that is the 6 observations given. Then find out the mean of all these observations. So, the mean of all these observations, that is 702, 701.4, 701.8, 701.6, 701.5, 701.9 divided by the number of observations, that is 6. So, you will get the arithmetic mean. So, this arithmetic mean is nothing but the most probable value of the measurement of a baseline. Then once you get the most probable value, that is arithmetic mean, then find out the residual error. We have discussed in the definition that the residual error is the difference between the individual observation and the most probable value. So, if you do the calculation, the individual observation is 702.0 minus 701.7, then you will get the residual error in the observation 1. Similarly, to get the residual error in the observation 2, so 701.4 minus 701.7, you will get the residual error in the observation 2. Likewise, you calculate the residual error for all the observations. I am repeating again, residual error is the difference between the individual observation and the most probable value. Then find out the square of the residual error. So, square of the residual error, all this, as you are squaring the residual error, you will get the all the positive values, and at last find the summation of the residual error. So, this is the summation of the residual error. Once you determine the summation of the residual error, then using the formula you can find out the most probable error of a single observation. The formula for the probable error of a single observation is plus or minus, here you can mention this is plus or minus, okay, plus or minus 0.6745 root of summation of v square upon n minus 1. So, summation of v square is 0.28, number of observation n is equal to 6. So, put this value in this formula. So, you will get the probable error of a single observation. Here the probable error of a single observation is 0.1596. Then the probable error of a arithmetic mean. The probable error of the arithmetic mean is equal to ES upon root n, where ES is the probable error of single observation, which you have determined in the step number 1. In the previous step, then divided by under root of the number of observations, so you will get the probable error of the arithmetic mean. Then you can quote the most probable value of the baseline. So, most probable value of the baseline is 701.7 plus the probable error which you have determined. So, here the most probable value is 701.7 and the probable error of the mean when all the observations of the equalate is 0.06516. So, this probable error, it may be positive, it may be negative. So, we have discussed that during the definitions, while studying the definitions of the different terms. So, probable error, it may be positive, it may be negative, which fixes the limit within which the most probable value must lie. So, your value of the most probable value of the baseline may be 701.7 plus this 0.06516, or the most probable value may be 701.7 minus 0.06516. In this way, you can determine the probable error of a single observation and most probable value of a quantity. The same procedure so this is the example given for the linear measurement. So, same procedure can be exercised to find out the angular measurement also when all the measurements of same weight. Let us discuss the second case. What is the second case? For determination of the most probable error, when the direct observations are made directly of and which are of unequal weight. That means observations are weighted observations, and these observations are made on a single unknown quantity. That means the angle A is determined the number of times, and for each observation they are not taken with the same care at the same time, or it may be with a different instrument. Therefore, these observations are weighted observation, that is different weights are assigned to the observations. So, if the observations are weighted, how the probable error is determined? We have seen that the most probable value of a quantity, the most probable value equal to the weighted arithmetic mean if the observations are of unequal weight. So, how the probable error is determined? So, let us discuss a simple example. The following are the observed values of a angle. if you find out the values of the angle, so they are very near to each other. That means these observations are made on a single unknown quantity. Single angle is measured 3 times, that is by the 3 persons or the 3 groups, and the different weights are assigned. So measurements are 40 degree, 20 minutes, 20 seconds, weight is 2. And for second observation again the weight is 2, and the third observation the weight is 3. So these observations are called as weighted observation. So we have to find out the probable error of a single observation of unit weight, probable error of weighted arithmetic mean, and the probable error of a single observation having weight 3. So how to proceed with this? First, you can present your result answer in the tabular form. Here, as if you look at these values of the given angle, so here degrees and minutes are same, only there is a variation in second. Here for the sake of convenience only, while representing the value of angle, only the seconds are mentioned. For first it is 20 seconds, then for second observation 18 seconds, third observation 19 seconds. So weight for the first is 2, second observation is 2, weight for third observation is 3. Then the most probable value is equal to weighted arithmetic mean. While determining the weighted arithmetic means, you have to multiply the observation first with its weight. As in first column we have mentioned, as the degrees and minutes are same, we have mentioned the second. So take the multiplication of the weight and the seconds only. So 20 multiplied by 2, 20 multiplied by 2 is equal to 40 seconds. In second case 18 multiplied by 2 is equal to 13 seconds. For third observation 19 multiplied by 3 is equal to 57 seconds. So weighted mean is 19 seconds. So how to get the weighted mean of 19 seconds? So 40 seconds plus 36 seconds plus 57 seconds divided by the summation of this weight, that is summation of 40 plus 36 plus 57 divided by 7, you will get the weighted mean as 19 seconds. Then find out the residual error. Find out the residual error in the individual observation. We have seen that the residual error is the difference between the individual observation and the most probable value. Here in this case the most probable value is the weighted mean, and we are getting the value of the weighted mean as 19 seconds. Consider this value as the most probable value. So 19 seconds is the most probable value. Here we are not considering the minutes and seconds. So 20 minus 19 is equal to 1 second. Then 18 minus most probable value 19 minus 1, and 19 minus 19 is equal to 0. This is the residual error. Again I am repeating, residual error is the difference between the individual observation and the most probable value. Then in this column take the square of the residual error. So square of 1 is 1, for minus 1 it is 1, 0, 0. Then do the multiplication of the weight and the square of residual error. So 2 into 1, 2. For the second observation weight is 2. So 2 into 1 again 2, and for third observation weight is 3. 3 multiplied by square of residual error, this is 0. 3 into 0, so we are getting the 0, and the last column you will get the summation of WV square is equal to 4. Once you perform this calculation, then next step is, here it is shown, detailed calculations are shown for this, the values mentioned in the table. V1 is the residual error for observation 1, V2 is the residual error for observation 2, V3 is the residual error for the observation 3, and this is the 19 seconds. 19 second is the weighted mean. Then using the formula, the probable error of a single observation of unit weight. Okay. So the formula is plus or minus 0.6745 root of summation of WV square upon n minus 1. Simply substitute the values in this equation. So WV square is 4, number of observations are 3. So 3 minus 1, you will get the probable error of single observation of unit weight is plus or minus 0.95. Then we have to find out the probable error of weighted arithmetic mean. The probable error of weighted arithmetic mean is given by the formula plus or minus 0.6745 square root of summation of WV square upon summation of W into n minus 1. So value of the summation of WV square is equal to 4. So WV summation of WV square, this is equal to 4. Then summation of W, that is the summation of weights. So summation of weight, so 2 plus 2 plus 3, so summation of weight is 7. So this is 7 multiplied by the n minus 1. Here the number of observations are 3, 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So if you substitute value, you will get the probable error of weighted arithmetic mean is equal to plus or minus 0.36. Then if you want to find out the probable error of a single observation of weight 3, that means if you consider the observation, particular observation having weight 3, so the third observation is having weight 3. For the third observation, you can find out the probable error is, so which is equals to probable error of a single observation divided by the root W, that is root of weight. So probable error of a single observation which we have determined is 0.95, is 0.95, then divided by root of weight. The weight for the third observation is 3. So probable error of a single observation of weight 3 is plus or minus 0.55. In this way, you can find out the probable error of a single observation of unit weight, probable error of weighted arithmetic mean, and probable error of a single observation of particular weight. In this example, we have to find out the probable error of a single observation of weight 3. So this is the case number 2. So let us summarize what we have studied here. We have studied the laws of accidental error. Then we have discussed how to find out the probable error when all the observations are of equal weight. Also we have discussed how to find out the probable error when the observations are weighted having the different weight. Thank you.